Hello, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mary. Today is Wellness Wednesday. For me, it's Vulnerability Day because I am going to pretty much lay it out as to why I have been MIA as much as I have been. I have been mentioning that I was going to do this, and I think I'm ready to talk about it. I know I'm one that's always talking to people about self-care, taking care of yourself, doing everything possible to be healthy, and I myself was the biggest fool in neglecting myself. But that's not how it all got started. I did not go in to get checked in as much detail as I did. So it's been a minute since I had some foot pain. So the foot pain was, I don't know, and the only way that I can describe it is I would walk and I would feel like every time I lifted my foot, just lifted my foot off the ground, it felt like my foot was being cut in half and the lower part was just pulling apart. That was the only way that I could explain it. And that's how I explained it to the doctor when I went in to get checked. And she started asking me a lot of different questions. It didn't just isolate it to the foot. She started talking about running blood panels. And, I'm confident, haven't been feeling sick. Nothing is going on with me. I have no other symptoms than my foot hurts. To me, I either stepped wrong, I stepped on a rock, and I could not remember what I had done. So I went ahead and said, okay. So I had x-rays done on my foot, which led to an MRI. When the results came back, she mentioned my tendons pulling away from my bone, which kind of described what I was talking about. It kind of put it to meaning that I felt like my foot was ripping apart. Somebody had cut the bottom part off. And she said that that was probably why I was feeling that way, because the tendons are pulling away from the foot. I'm still being seen for that, so that is still something that I haven't done any surgeries for, thank God, but we're still in the process of trying to get that taken care of. Now let's go ahead and talk about her talking to me about blood work. So let's go ahead and do some blood work. We're fine. Everything is fine. I'm feeling fine. So I'm pretty confident about it until I get my results. So my results came back with quite a few things that I didn't expect. So I started kind of worrying. Some of those things had to do with my brother passing, and granted, he was different circumstance than mine, but still organs are starting to be affected by things. Even though they don't give me symptoms, they were starting to be affected. The liver was one of them. I'm not a heavy drinker. I probably have a drink once every, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. One drink, lots of water in between. That's pretty much what my alcohol content is. But it still was affecting my liver. But it had nothing to do with alcohol. It had more to do with everything that I was feeding my body. I'm a salty type snacker. I'm not a sugar snacker. So I knew sugar was not the culprit, which I know sugar can affect a lot of things. So she ran further tests. She did some sonograms. She did an ultrasound. She did many other tests. And every time they did another test, something else was wrong. Now I'm starting to panic. Now I'm starting to get worried about it, because one of the ultrasounds that they did actually came back with some spots. And the spots were actually in the area where my gallbladder used to be. It was not in the pancreas, not in the liver, but it was still something that was concerning. So I started to panic. Um, I don't know. I don't have immediate family that has had any type of cancer aside from my dad for lung cancer, but he was a very, very heavy smoker. Um, nothing different than that. I'm not a smoker, never have been a smoker. So a lot of those things just kind of took me away from, I don't understand why this is happening, until the breakdown of my diet started coming to play. There were many times where I'd have one meal a day and snack the rest of the time, because that is the time that I had a snack in between. And my snacks were not necessarily the healthiest of snacks. They had a lot to do with salty potato chips, things like that. And that's what I was doing a lot of. I did drink sodas on and off. I would let go of the sodas, the caffeine. But for the most part, that's what I would drink. And I finally got a little bit of peace about 2 weeks ago, is when we finally, that was the last test, the last anything they had to do as far as what was going on from the beginning of this, which was almost a year's worth of one thing after another. They finally came back, did some testing, and thankfully those spots that they had seen, they are cysts, but they are not malignant. They're benign. And I was so happy about that. I was relieved. More than anything, I was relieved. But it put my life into perspective. Take care of yourself. Do it as early as you can. I neglected to do that, even though I told everybody to do it. I talked everybody into being healthy, thinking I'm healthy. No, I'm not. I was put on a very, very strict diet. A lot of those things, pre-diabetic, came up. To me, that was nonsense, because I don't eat a lot of sugar. So, and I know I've done the research, but to me, sugar and diabetes just kind of go hand in hand, and that's not the case. I know that's not the case, but my mindset was, I'm not eating a lot of sugars. So a lot of my foods have gone away. I'm past the detox section, and I'm well on my way to losing the weight that I need to lose to get myself back to being healthy again. I started working out. And with working out, there's something that I did place an order for. And I'm waiting for another item that's coming in. My brother and his wife teach classes at the gym. I haven't caught a lot of, or the dance classes for her, because they do line dancing. But line dancing in the sense of workout. So now that I've given you all of the bad things that have happened to me, I'm going to now flip it around and give you all of the positives that can come from eating healthy, from just kind of taking care of yourself. My energy level is skyrocketing, which is why I'm filming a little more times than not. Even though I was not sleeping, I was so exhausted that I could not film. Once I started filming, the light was bothering me, or it was just one thing after another. So I stopped everything altogether. Come to think of it, I was under a lot of stress, because to me it was unreal. What was transpiring was unreal, on top of my very, very hectic work schedule, as y'all have been familiar with, because I've been there 8 years, and those 8 years have been extremely hectic at work. But now that I went back to negative, now let's continue on with the positive. I started eating much better. I started counting the amount of things that I would eat, what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I've been monitoring my sugar levels, and based on my results for sugar levels every morning, I only do it in the mornings for fasting. And based on what I've eaten the day before, I kind of incorporate the things that I know are keeping my sugar levels down to normal, whereas before I really didn't care. I, this is just me, but I did toy around with, I want to know how bad my sugar levels really were when I was eating the junk food. So I did buy chips and I did buy everything that I did aside from the soda. The soda, I have not had a soda in probably almost 3 months. But I did go to the chips and all the salty snacks that I had and tested my sugar levels the next day. And surprisingly, which is probably why it's pre-diabetic, not diabetic, it was 108. 108. But to me, that was a lot because I was under 100 for the normal parts. But 108 to me was just out of this world, which is not too bad. But if I had continued to just put all that stuff in my system, I can only imagine where I'd be. Well, I ordered some things, and there are 4 packages. I'm only going to pull out one of the packages. I started going to the gym. I have not done the line dance class yet. I've done the sticks class, and the sticks class is more of a, I don't know if y'all are familiar with it, but it's more of a Zumba dance kind of thing, but you use drumsticks. And that's what I say, they're drumsticks. They do look like drumsticks. The noises that they make, it just kind of motivates you and keeps you going. Well, I did this class 2 years ago, once, before I even knew the instructor, before I even knew that she would later become my sister-in-law. I was talked to by the owner of the gym, and she just kept telling me, go try the sticks class. You love Zumba, you love to dance. This is an amazing, a lot of music, dance type workout. And I did. It was a half-hour class. And I figured I'll do that half-hour class and then I'll go do my treadmill. And from there, I'm going to go hit the speed bag, which is my ultimate thing. I always go to the speed bag. And half an hour with that class, and I had to run home. And sure enough, ran straight to the bathroom. I'm calling it a detox. I don't know what y'all want to call it, but I called it a detox. I know that's not what it is. Well, I went back about 2 months ago, and they talked me into doing the class again. I told them about my experience 2 years ago. They said modify it. Well, I don't know how to modify. If you're going fast, I'm going to go just as fast as you. I don't know how to modify a workout. So again, I did the class. I modified a little, but not enough. So sure enough, I did not finish anything else but that half-hour class. Well, it was an hour. My brother did the arms and abs, and then she did the sticks right afterwards, my sister-in-law. And sure enough, I had to run home. So that was the second time that happened. And the following week, I called it my detox again and told them about it. And they started helping me a little bit more on how to modify. So I figured if I don't do the floor workout, the abs or the sticks workout on the floor, I can manage it. So I started using one of those boxes, the step-up boxes, instead of the floor. And I think I've got it down because I've done 2 classes and I've been okay, and I go and continue and do my speed bag. So I'm back to my speed bag, which is where these come into play. So these are my hand wraps that I use for the speed bag, and I love it. I love the speed bag. So my sister-in-law and her friend saw me hitting the speed bag after one of the classes, and she went to talk to me about it. She had never seen me hit it. I had never really worked out with them. But she saw me hitting it, wanted to learn how to hit the speed bag, and I decided, why not? Somehow, I don't know how we even got there, but somehow we managed to turn it into a circuit training. So now we're doing heavy bag, So we're doing the punching bag, we're doing the double end bag, and then we're doing the speed bag. So we alternate. And now I'm starting to do the mitts. So I do mitts with them, and it works out my arms, especially when my brother does the mitts, because he has a very strong, powerful punch, which does the impact on my arms. So I'm getting a workout as well as they are. I'm loving it. And these are my all-time favorite. These we used way back when my son was a boxer. And they are my favorite hand wraps. Absolute favorite hand wraps. It's a pretty thick roll. It is the gauze hand wrap. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So thought I'd share that. If you ever want to release some stress and you have access to a speed bag, and I will leave a clip of a video at the end of this video, just kind of showing you what that looks like. It's a video that I took probably mid last year, so if not earlier than that, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress relief because you're hitting something and not somebody. And the energy that's coming from eating right and now incorporating workout again, which I've always loved to work out, but I got comfortable. Don't get comfortable. The minute you get comfortable, you get too relaxed that you forget the basics. And the basics are eat right and exercise. And by exercising, I don't mean go lift weights and go run a marathon. I mean walk, even slow walking, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and take care of yourself. I can't tell you how much I am thanking God that all of this was found out now and discovered that it wasn't something major. It took me a minute. Got a lot of medical bills to pay, which is why I'm on a no big purchase ban. So I'm not purchasing a lot of big ticket items as far as skincare goes and things like that. So I'm having to restrict myself to the basics because I have to pay off all of those medical bills. But it's all worth it. It is definitely all worth it. I'd rather pay the few $1,000s that I have now in debt for medical bills than a few thousand that they're going to use for a casket. I'd rather do that now. Do that for yourself. You owe yourself that much. We all owe ourselves a self-care, self-love type routine. And I am going to continue bringing this Wellness Wednesday, and I hope y'all join me for it. Thank y'all for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for listening, and I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, smile always. Bye.